My greetings to all. Welcome back again. This is another tutorial on the agreement between auxiliary and helping verbs and main verbs. Now, in this tutorial, I'm going to teach you how to differentiate between main verbs and helping verbs which are used as main verbs. Now, let's start with a reminder first, something that we have covered in our previous tutorials. If you remember, we said that there are 12 tenses in the English grammar. The present simple, the past simple, the future simple, the present continuous, the past continuous, the future continuous, the present perfect, the past perfect, and the future perfect, the present perfect continuous, and the future perfect continuous, and the past perfect continuous, actually. So we have 12 tenses. Now, let's start with the following statement. Main verbs like own, drive, started, went are used independently. They are the only verbs available in one simple sentence. By the way, there could be more than one sentence, and each sentence might contain a verb. I'm referring here to one independent single sentence in which there is one single independent verb. So, these main verbs are used independently without the help of other verbs. I want to give you an example. Now, is driving, is here, is used as an auxiliary because there is another verb, driving, in the sentence. While is, I want to show you an example right now, while is in this sentence, Salim is an accountant, is used as a main verb because it's the only verb available in the sentence. So our criterion is easy. If we have verbs that are only used independently in a single simple sentence, they are main verbs. Let's go on. Salim owns a new car. My friends own new cars. Salim drives his car to work. My friends drive their cars or their new cars to work. As you can see, all these verbs are used as main verbs. Salim or Salim started a new job. The engineers started a new project. Salim went to his friend's house, and finally, my friends went on a trip to the countryside. Again, all these verbs are used first of all in the past simple, while the 4 previous ones were in the present simple. So all these are past simple verbs, and they are main verbs because simply they are used as the only verbs which are used independently in a one simple sentence. Now, how could auxiliary verbs be used independently? As you can see in the following examples, Salim has so much work to do. The employees have so much work to do. Salim is an accountant. Layla and Selma are nurses. The streets are very crowded. Salim does his best to get a promotion. And finally, students do nothing these days. As you can see, all these are main verbs. Why are they main verbs? Because, as I told you, there are no other verbs following these verbs like in these examples. Okay? So all these are what? Main verbs. Main verbs. Now the verb to have, the verb to be, the verb again to be, and the verb to do, as you can see. Now the past simple. Ryan was sick last week. The kids were very hungry. Selma did all that she could. The workers did the work on time. The employees had so much work to do, and I had so much work to do. Again, all these are past simple sentences. All these are auxiliary verbs that are used independently as main verbs. Simply why? Because they are not followed by any other verbs. Again, these are the verb to be, the verb to do, and finally, and again, and the verb to have. Okay? Now, let's look at how auxiliary verbs are used with other verbs. Now, if you remember, we dealt here with 2 main tenses, the present simple and the past simple. So how many other tenses are left? 10. So we should be really covering here 10 more tenses. Okay? Now, starting with the present continuous, as you can see, Salim is driving his car to work, and my friends are driving their cars right now. So is driving here, as I told you, and are driving here, is and are, the verb to be is used as auxiliary verbs. Salim, now the past continuous. Salim was watching. The kids were playing in the backyard. Now present perfect. Salim has started a new job. I have bought a new mobile. Past perfect. Layla had gone to her friend's house. Selma and Layla had gone shopping. Future simple. Salim will go to his friend's house, and Salim and Ryan will visit their sick friend. Let me remind you of something. We have discussed this earlier in a previous tutorial. The modal verbs are always used as auxiliary verbs. They can never be used as main verbs simply because the meaning will not stand. You can't say Salim will to his friend's house. You always need another verbs to identify the meaning. So that's why we included will in the auxiliary verbs that are used with other verbs. Now, let's go on. Present perfect continuous. Salim has been working. As you can see, has been working. Has here is used as a helping verb. The workers have been working. Again, have is used as a helping verb. Okay, now past perfect continuous. Salim had been working very hard. Had here is used as, again, what? A helping verb. And the workers have been working hard. Again, had here is used as a helping verb. Now the final two tenses, future continuous and future perfect continuous. Now Salim will be specializing, and Salim and Salim will be specializing. Now Salim will have finished and the workers will have finished. By the way, here we're not discussing tenses. We are just discussing forms of tenses. And I'm just teaching you how to join auxiliary verbs to main verbs, and how to use main verbs as main verbs, and how to use auxiliary verbs as main verbs. That's all. We're not going to discuss tenses in this stage. This is going to be done later on. Thank you for being with me today. Thank you very much.